Hey, well, welcome everyone. It's top of the hour, so thanks for jumping in. It looks like we've got a good group of people here. Um, Maybe we'll just probably seen our avatars in coming in here, but got myself, founder of eXp Realty, Glenn Sanford, along with Felix Bravo, um, VP of International Growth. Felix, anything you want to? I know you just came off of the road going to, I think, the UK.
Yeah, I was at the very famous UK holiday party, and we had about 320 agents there. Lots of celebrations. I think they had 85 cappers who showed up and got awarded their award for being cappers, and something like 25 icons. So it was a great event, and we had a lot of teams show up as well that were prospects. So all good things, except for
Uh,
the cold.
Except for the cold. There you go. Well, we are actually literally sitting across from each other. We're at a meeting in Miami, Coral Gables, Florida, at the moment. If you hear a little echo, it's because both of our mics are picking up each other's voices in the same space. But let's go ahead and jump in. First of all, thanks everyone for joining us for eXp Explained International. This has been a labor of love for me for over 15 years, building out eXp, and now working with the international team and working on expanding internationally. It's a lot of fun. We've been really changing things up lately, and this is one of our I think our second eXp Explained that we've done in here, but we're going to continue to do more and more eXp Explains as we go into 2025. And really, the idea is to help agents understand the model and how it relates internationally, but also to help you steward your uh, prospective business partners and agents through the process of learning about EXP anywhere in the world. And we really are building a simplified, streamlined platform with a really amazing value prop. Um, EXP now we're 85,000 agents. Obviously, we're a virtual environment, but we refer to ourselves as a cloud-based brokerage, which basically means as a modern brokerage, you no longer need to have physical offices. Consumers aren't going to offices to learn about what's for sale. Agents are not really going to offices to do the work. And because we're uberly connected with technology, you can literally work from anywhere. There's obviously different rules and regulations in each country, but the business of real estate is pretty similar country to country. Consumers are looking online. You're meeting prospective, primarily sellers to list properties, and then you're working with buyers to help them ultimately, purchase the properties. And then with EXP, we're building a really comprehensive technology and tool stack. Along with a lot of different trainings. This even you can even consider this being one of them, but then that also ultimately translates to freedom and flexibility. This is just a quick little cool graphic of countries we've grown into. We've got a few more countries we're opening up in early 2025, so excited about that. But we're now in 24 markets. We've got three more announced, so we've got Turkey, Egypt, and Peru. And then we've got a couple others that are really close to announcing as well. So excited about that. Um, one of the things because of EXP, we've got this really powerful referral network. So if you haven't already, just type where you're at in the chat in here. But think about these people that you're even connecting with in here as your future business partners and your future referral network. So as you get to know more and more agents throughout the EXP ecosystem, you're going to have opportunities to partner, to collaborate, to grow your business, um, and just the fact that we've got this really amazing network, you're going to be able to do more business wherever you're at. There's people always moving country to country, especially. And you're going to be able to take advantage of that because of the network of people that are here. But then also, we've got a lot of really cool tools and tech where we're building out our own portals, our own national presence. We're creating a lot of different opportunities. So it's a really great network to be connected with. Um, Obviously, I'm the founder of the company. I started as an agent in 2002, so 22 years ago, 22 and a half or so, almost 23 in April next year. I will have been in the business 23 years, but I started as an agent, and I was working primarily on the buyer side, generating buyer-based leads in the US, and built a very fast-growing practice. And what I realized fairly quickly is that the business itself owned me. I didn't really own a business. If I wasn't out there generating leads and working with clients, I was out of business. And I wanted to build a business that had some sort of residuals and retirement benefits. So I started to explore, what that looked like, and how I could get there. And of course, the first thing was maybe I start a real estate team, and a lot of small brokerages around the world are akin to a real estate team, and which is dependent on a primary leader along with some associate agents. Um, and then I figured out that I needed to be fundamentally involved in growing that business in order for it to continue to expand. So it wasn't really leading me on a path to sort of that residuals and retirement. So the next thing was to start a real estate brokerage, which I did in 2007. And I had four physical offices when the housing market around the world, but started in the U.S., really collapsed. And but we had finally recognized that we were in a place where we could use high-speed internet to build a new next generation real estate brokerage. So that's really kind of where it's at. Felix, you want to maybe do a little intro on yourself and your background?
Yeah, sure. So I'm the vice president of international growth. I joined eXp about a year and a half ago now, I believe. And similar to Glenn, I started out as an agent in the new development space. I did that for about 6 years and grew my first team before sort of breaking away from a small local indie here in Miami. And I started looking at what options there were for me to scale my business without inquiring a ton of operational costs. And what led me to go on that search was I tried scaling my own my own team and group while inquiring all our operational costs, and found it to be extremely challenging right around the time COVID hit. And then I discovered virtual brokerages, and I started scaling. Miami being such an international market, 60% of the business we were doing was with international buyers. And I was really looking for a platform slash brokerage that gave me the opportunity to connect with agents across the world, scale a team across the world where we could help create a full service platform in my team, in an international community. And it was extremely hard because what I found was there was a lot of franchise models that claimed to be international, but really they were just small offices that happened to have the same brand name across different borders, and they didn't communicate with one another all that well. And that's when I had discovered EXP, and of course I had heard so much about them due to their rapid growth. But I was introduced to EXP as they were expanding internationally, and was immediately blown away with the fact that an independent company could scale into all these countries. Meaning, an agent in Miami could call a country leader in Mexico, for example, and be treated the same as a Mexican EXP agent, which just really isn't the case anywhere else. And I saw the strength and power in that, not just for myself and my team, but for my agents, and the opportunity it provided for them to scale their businesses across the world. And that's when I decided to join EXP, and was originally the director of growth in the state of Florida, and helped scale there, really focused on bringing on large teams and brokerages before ultimately jumping into what is really my passion in international real estate. And I get to work with, obviously, with Glenn and the rest of our amazing international team, but all of our country leaders, which I think I see a couple of you guys here, Andrew Thompson in South Africa, Yeet, who's going to be our country leader in Turkey, And we had some pretty powerful moments that I think describe what EXP is. And last week, a couple of days ago, I was in the UK, and we had a 200-person team from Spain and Portugal fly to the UK to meet us to see EXP in person. And they signed their agreement, and there was this kind of great moment where it was somebody from the UK, somebody from America, somebody from Spain, all meeting together to be a part of the same platform, a part of the same brokerage, and build something together. And that's just something that is unparalleled anywhere else, and that's what drives me every day to continue to work with you guys here to grow the business.
Awesome. No, thank you for that, Felix. One of the things, and I touched on this earlier, is how do you build a sustainable career in real estate? Sales is one of the highest paid um, businesses that you can be in individually, but it has a high amount of burnout. And there's a phrase which is the highest paying hard work and the lowest paying easy work that exists out there. And there's about 80% of the industry will turn over every 5 years or so. But some of you are more career minded and you're thinking longer term. And if you're thinking longer term, what does this look like if you want to make this a long-term career? And so really that's the idea of EXP, is really building this sustainable long-term career where you and the brokerage are partnered and co-collaborate on growing the brokerage together. And we've obviously got agent ownership, which some of you probably heard about. And if you haven't, we'll talk a little bit about that. But then we also have um, the ability to share in the revenues that you as an agent help bring to the brokerage as well. And it's been pretty incredible, what that means for our agent base long term. We're now the largest really independent brokerage on the planet. We're 100% committed to individual agent success and team success. This is in our mind, we are here to, we refer to ourselves as the most agent-centric real estate brokerage on the planet. And when I say that, you hear the word agent, because we're not the broker owner centric real estate brokerage. So broker owner are all the people that own franchises. We're about the individuals who actually generate the revenue for the brokerage, and that's the agent. And so that really plays into this whole idea of agent empowerment. Um, so some basics that you'll want to be aware of. One, we have a competitive commission split. Internationally, we're a 75 25 model, and we say 75% plus and 100% plus. So you'll see those on the screen there. And what that means is that because of the way we've structured our model, you can actually earn from day one every year over 100% of your commissions back, in the form of commissions, rev share, and equity, depending on how much you lean in on some of the other opportunities. So, and 75/25 is pretty unheard of in international markets. Most markets, you're looking at brokerages that are 50/50 to the brokerage, 60/40 to the brokerage. In some cases, in some markets, it's less than 5 to 10% that goes to the agent, and 80% plus goes to the brokerage, just the way that they're structured. And what we want to do is help agents really maximize their income. And when we think about the 75/25, that's only 75/25 up until you've paid a certain amount in every year, at which point you go to 100% plus on your earnings, meaning that you're earning 100% of your commissions, less some fees for portals and some base technology. But after that, that's covered your 100% plus. So it's pretty cool the way we've kind of designed it. We're building out. We've got local CRMs. We've got local marketing platforms. We're connecting and connected to all of the in-country portals. We're structuring what we're referring to as a debit and credit system. But basically, as an agent, there's a certain amount of just inherent ability to market day one. But if you want to scale up your marketing, we'll actually work with you to get you onto more portals, get you more advertising on these portals, and then effectively be able to recapture that back from future closings, which puts you in a good position as an agent to basically market in a way that gets the property sold, without having to, always come out of pocket with all of the marketing dollars. There's obviously still some marketing dollars. You're still independent contractors. You're still doing a lot of work on the front lines, but especially when it comes to portals, we're developing some really interesting tools on how we sort of approach the portal marketing, which is, in every single market around the world, the single biggest expense of agent marketing has to do with portals. And then, how do we then, allow agents to go out there and do that? So we've got some pretty unique ways that we approach that. By the way, I won't dive into the nuances for every single market. One, I don't know all the details for every single market. I've got broad brushstrokes on how things work, but this is really just going to give you really that high level overview. Um, but that being said, one cool platform that's worth checking out is homehunter.global. We signed the worldwide exclusive rights to this platform, and we've already invested. I'm not sure what the total dollars is, but it's a pretty substantial sum. Plus, they've invested a few $1 million upfront in developing this, and they were developing it for the U.S. and Canada market, but we licensed it for everything outside the U.S. and Canada, under HomeHunter.global, and it will literally keep track of every portal and every property on every portal on consumers' behalf, but then it will also connect to you as their agent. So if you're working with somebody to list their home, you can also be co-browsing and helping them find their next home. And in some markets, you can also represent them in the purchase of that property. Actually, you probably do it in all markets, but some markets it's a more normal practice than others. But it's a really cool tool. It allows your consumer to keep track of all the real estate portals and all the properties on those portals, in a way that is, way more convenient. And we're able to actually advertise inside of that portal, EXP listings and EXP agents. So as it gets more and more traction, it will be a great tool. So I just want you to know we're investing in some cool tools. We've got some tools coming out in January. I don't want to talk too much about it, but if you're a decent sized producer, you'll get you'll get some access to early access to some AI tools that will change your business. So we're investing heavily in AI. So what you'll find with eXp is you're going to get access to tools and technologies you won't see anywhere else at any other brokerage, because just the way that we've sort of built around sort of innovation. Um, got a ton of training and development. Felix, maybe you can touch on a lot of some of the training and development that we're doing in different markets and how that all works.
Yeah, I'm happy to. And we just announced Canva Pro. So all of our agents across the world get access to Canva Pro, completely included. There's no additional cost for it. And that's going to be a really powerful tool for agents who are looking to build their personal brand, do more marketing. And it sort of ties into the training and development, because all these tools that we roll out, we get trainings done for them. We translate them to your local language. And one of our specialties here at eXp is that what you'll find in each individual country, yes, there are the things that make us at our core eXp, right? Everything you guys know and love about us: large, independent, international, rev share, equity, the opportunity to hit 100%. But we also localize to down to each individual level in the countries, and that includes training and development. So we've rolled out some really amazing learning paths that are specific to each country individually. And if you wanted to find out more about, hey, maybe I'm in Germany and I want to know about what the training is specifically, so how an agent in Germany can get more business or build their brand, I'd encourage you to either check us out on the website or jump into the international HQ afterwards to have a chat with us, because we can get you in touch with all the right people. But we have some amazing announcements coming for training as well, which maybe I won't drop too many hints, but we've done some great things over in the U.S. with FastCap in Canada, and we're now bringing that internationally. So hopefully. Hopefully, I didn't ruin any big announcements there, but we have some amazing tools for agents who are looking to get into a larger level of production extremely quickly, and we have some great announcements coming soon on that.
Awesome. No, thank you, Felix. One of the things is real estate is local. It's not, even though we're a platform, and you can think about us as almost like a brokerage as a service for you as an agent. So you've probably heard of software as a service, and platforms as a service. We're basically a brokerage as a service, but the business is local, which means we've got staff who is well versed at the local level in market about what it takes to do business. And these are um, agents and brokers and broker owners and others that have joined our staff that's providing support and oversight to make sure that when you put things together, that they're valid, they're enforceable, and can help you get paid at the end of the day. So lots of local expertise. We really are driving a decentralized approach, and continuing to push more and more um, decision making to the local level, especially as we get to scale. And you'll see that in different markets, South Africa, UK, France, Australia, and a number of other markets come to mind, where the decision making and the frameworks are actually now much more localized, because we've got to a critical mass of agents and staff to really drive that local drive. Um, eXp World, you're actually in one aspect of it. You're in an auditorium, but we literally have a virtual metaverse. You can come into our international office at any time, whether you're with eXp or not. It's at exp.world/international. And you can literally come in, have conversations, learn about more intimately about eXp. If you've got some things that you're wanting to talk about, we have people in world pretty much 24 by 5, um, 24 hours a day, 5 days a week. Now, if you come in at 2 in the morning your time, then you'll probably find people from the other side of the world that are actually there in world. So if you're in in uh, in Spain, at 2 in the morning, you're probably going to get folks in Australia, but it's fully staffed throughout the day, and it's pretty cool. And will eventually be sort of 24 by 7. In fact, you can come in 24 by 7, but we may not have that much staff in on the weekends. Um, Talked a little bit about some of the collaboration tools. We've been really pioneering the use of Discord for our international presence, partially because of some of the technology that we have been using historically is going away in August of 2025. But also, it's a strong platform. There are some markets. Turkey would be one where we're actually building robust WhatsApp groups, and then we're also using other social tools to basically create connections between agents and brokers all over the world. So we are using a lot of things to kind of keep us uberly connected in addition to EXP World. Here's another benefit that we rolled out um, earlier this year internationally, and that is that if you're an agent with EXP, you can actually use any Regis anywhere in the world. And if you're in a major city or close to a major city in your country, in all likelihood, there are multiple Regis offices in that city. So, a lot of times people say, "Well, um, I need an office," or "So and so's got an office." Well, in a lot of cases, we'll actually be able to say that you have 11 or 12 offices, especially in the big cities, that you can use anywhere in the city. And so, if you want to meet a client there, if you want to just go and work for a bit, and the other piece that we found over time is that Regis is a very target rich environment, meaning that if you work out of the same Regis office on a regular basis on our dime, and it's the co-work space, you'll meet other people who will be looking to buy or sell real estate in that market, by just being a agent working out of that Regis office. So, in addition to it being a great benefit, it's also a great prospecting tool to meet other prospective consumers. Now we'll jump a little bit into we'll call ownership and growth. eXp is a publicly traded company. We trade on the Nasdaq under EXPI, and so we are agent owned. And so we'll touch on some of that here in a moment. We also are building out our eXp luxury brand, and because we're in all of these countries, we're able to pull together high-end properties from multiple markets around the world. And we just acquired, I think it was in October, we acquired an amazing company called LuxVT, which is all about luxury branding, marketing, distribution, and sharing of properties around the world. And we've got a great network of folks that are part of the eXp luxury. Now, there's an extra fee involved for the luxury side because there are assets there that are specific for the luxury market. But for those who are in it, and I think we've got 2,500, 3,000 people who are now part of luxury. It's a great way to expose listings in a meaningful way. Lots of support services. You've got, as you've put transactions in there, we've got a lot of things going on. We're also building a lot of support services at the edges of the organization as well. So in your country, you're going to find that we've got different types of support in country. Um, eXpCon is our biggest event of the year. We just finished one in October, but we now have eXp conventions going on in, I think it's Barcelona in June. Canada, I think, is in May, and then I think that we're working toward one potentially in South Africa that will bounce between there and Australia, starting. We're looking at September this year. So, Andrew, you can kind of opine on that if that's where we're at on that. But we're building out a lot of big events for you to network with other agents, and agents literally from around the world will go to all these events, which is a great way to again build your connections around the world. Um, so let's just jump into a little bit. We'll, so that was really what we'll call the cake of eXp, meaning, that's the meat and potatoes. Is we're a competitively cost brokerage. We're cutting edge on technology and tools. We've got a great network community, and you can really be building the type of business that you want to build. But then, in addition to that, we've taken the benefits that would normally go to the broker owner or the sales manager. We've actually provided those benefits to you, which is as you help the eXp grow, we actually pay you a percentage of the commissions that agents generate up until they cap. A percentage of that will get paid out to the 7 agents upline from that agent. So it's pretty cool. Basically, your first 3 tiers in the eXp RevShare system is opened up regardless. If you're a capper, you're getting more of the RevShare organization opened up, and if you're a icon, which is our top agents, you actually have all 7 levels opened up. But also, as you bring in a productive agents, you'll actually open those levels up as well. So we've got a number of ways to sort of open that up. But literally, I think in 2023, if I'm not mistaken, we paid out $190 million to agents and brokers that help the company grow. And we have a number of agents who are, earning significant income through the revenue share program. There is uh, um, there's a disclaimer. You can go to exprealty.com/income, which just sort of breaks down the income per level, because most agents aren't going to be going heavy in rev share. They're going to be heavy on production, but it's a great way to add additional income. And some people are earning as much or more from rev share than they did as a top tier agent in their market. So it's pretty cool to see the amount of benefits that provides. Um, if you're a icon agent, basically what that means is you're an agent who's who's paid in their cap, and we've got two caps internationally. We've got a $13,000 cap if you're in uh, uh, lower income market, and then if you're in a high income market, then we have a $20,000 cap. But if you paid in your cap, and then you do another effectively 20 transactions, and there's some cap fees per country, but you'll actually earn back your cap in the form of equity. And there's some stuff that you get automatically. There's some stuff that you have to do some cultural awards around, but we give you a way to get your cap back in the form of equity. It's pretty awesome. We paid out, I don't the number was last year, but I think it was around $60 million we paid out just in equity awards for agents and brokers last year. And one of the things that we think about is no matter what's going on in the world, and there's a lot of stuff going on in the world, we want to support agents wherever they're at. And we really want to think about the agent as being who we're taking care of. It doesn't really matter what's going on between countries, between borders, between in countries, what have you. We want to take care of our agents, and we want to take care of you from wherever you're at. And so our mission is to support you no matter what politically is going on, and that's becoming a clearer and clearer focus for me personally. Is just how do we make sure that agents, no matter what's going on around the world, we're there for you. So we've got a platform called Extend a Hand that helps agents. We've helped agents in multiple countries, and it's a cool platform. We've raised a lot of money that's there specifically to support agents in need as well. Um, so another another slide on that, but bottom line is, we're obviously, as a company that's cloud based, we we have environmental benefits. The amount of carbon footprint and other things that we don't create because of the way we operate is pretty interesting in its own right as well. So with that, what I would say is, you know jump onto eXp Realty's or exprealty.international's website. Feel free to start the join process. We've got a team, myself included. We've got a WhatsApp channel that you can ask questions of, and that's actually connected to our core leadership team to help you navigate the process of joining and connecting you with in-country leaders. We also now have, and that started at the beginning of this month, our co-sponsorship program. And what that basically means is that if you're sponsoring from country to country or from region to region, you can actually partner with an in-country agent to support your agent if you're attracting agents. So if you've got agents that are looking to join in Spain, and agents with EXP in Spain that would be great business partners, you can actually co-sponsor them. Or in the UK, and I think in later on in 2025, you'll be able to also do it in the U.S. and Canada as well. But we've got a really great program to basically form a partnership in growing your organization. And you can partner with anybody in EXP that would love to support your group, especially when you're thinking about international expansion. So if you live in Spain and you're recruiting somebody in South Africa, well, you may want to connect with an agent there that you will partner with in attracting that agent. And with that, anything else, Felix, you want to add?
Yeah, I would just say get connected with us. You can jump into our international HQ, which I think we've linked a couple times in the chat right after this, and you could meet with people in real time in our HQ. There will be someone who can guide you to an expert in whatever market you're interested in. Maybe that can speak your local language as well. If you want to check us out and you want to hear this in Spanish, or you have prospects who are mainly Spanish speakers, next week here, Wednesday, same time at 11 a.m. Eastern, I'll be doing an eXp Explained fully in Spanish, but come jump into our international HQ after this if you want to learn more, or if you want to, get ready with the join process. And maybe Glenn, we can open it up for a little bit of a Q&A here.
Oh, for sure. Let's do it. So, Eli, we touched on the referral network, not the platform per se, um, but we've got through a platform called Zenlist, and I see uh, Carrie from Zoocasa in here, but we've got a number of sort of technology platforms that are connecting all of the sort of referrals and marketing and that type of thing as we go along.
But within our referral platform, guys, if you wanted to know a little bit more about how it works, you can basically look up an eXp agent in any city in any of the markets that we're in, and you could see their experience, maybe what they're highly focused in, maybe it's luxury, new development, etc. And you guys can connect with them there on the platform. It creates a lot of safety and security around the transaction when dealing with somebody across borders, and the full transaction will happen within eXp and the documentation of it and everything. So it's a really, really strong process. Yeah, what languages they speak as well. It's a really strong platform for you to grow your business either by handing out more referrals of maybe you live in Mexico and you have somebody who's moving to Puerto Rico or looking to purchase a second home there. You can do it that way, but also for you to attract more business by getting on the referral platform, connecting with our agents, and seeing if they have business that is coming your way.
Hey, Glenn Gray on relative to homehunter.global. It is available. You can actually download the browser extension. The challenge is that there's not a lot of utility to it in the US because of the way the multiple listing services work. You can pretty much see any property that's marketed by any brokerage on any website, whereas internationally, there's normally 3 or 4 or 5 different portals, plus brokerage websites where listings might be, but they generally aren't on all platforms. Well, they just aren't on all platforms. They're on a limited number of platforms, and so you have to jump around from portal to portal. So that's where Home Hunter becomes more valuable. Excellent. Okay, well, thanks everyone.